What cheer, y'all? Welcome back to Right at the Wire. Well, as promised, this is our post with our full card selections for Gulfstream Park on Florida Derby Day on Saturday, and we've got first through fourth listed. I thought first through fifth is kind of a little extreme. We only want the superfecta, right? So, anyway, take a minute and take a look at the selections. Okay, well, I mean, this is there's a lot of chalk in this, but there are some races that I think offer some pretty good value. Most notably, the eighth race. It looks to me like a pretty wide open affair, and we'll talk about that in a second. But there's some heavy hitters in these races. Most notably, we'll take a look. The best bet of the day has to be White Barrio, obviously at 1 to 9. Not a lot of opportunity for for good ROI on the doubles and pick threes and whatnot. So we'll go elsewhere for that. But without a doubt, I just don't see how White Barrio loses that race. I don't think he has to run his best race either. He is coming off the Pegasus World Cup, and they opted for this instead of going overseas. Gulfstream Park he loves, and there's just not a lot in there. I don't think Tuscan Sky. But that horse is just perennially disappointing, and I don't want to back him. So I think White Barrow is a pretty safe bet. Use him in all the sequences around him. The long shot is Sherlock's Jewel. This is a horse for Shug McGahee. He doesn't often go to IRAD, but I thought that was a pretty interesting selection for a horse who's debuting at 4, who most of his good running was done on dirt, including some graded stakes placings, but he does have dirt form or turf form as well. And at 20 to 1, in a race that I think is pretty wide open, that's filled with underachievers, I'm going to take a shot with Sherlock's Jewel at 20 to 1. Hopefully, we'll drift up from there, but I think he's got as good a shot as anybody, so I'm going to go with the value. So Sherlock's Jewel is the long shot play. Value plays, we've got a few. Nantasket Beach in the first race, I think at 6 to 1 is a bit of a steal. This is an incredibly consistent performer, and he just comes off a win in his last race. It's a little bit of a class hike, but not enough that it's going to worry me. I think he's very competitive in a race that on the turf that has a couple coming off some peak efforts, and they may be ready for regression, but I think it's whatever the case. As we know with value plays, they don't necessarily have to win; they just have to get into the money and spice up your exotics and your vertical wagers. So I think Nantasket Beach is an excellent value. Silvology also for Shug McGahee. This is another one that I think just won an optional claimer and looks to be progressing nicely, and this is a one that I think you can include at 6 to 1. Race 7, Lightning Tones is not going to beat White Barrio, but he's a value play, a horse that you can look to get up for second. He's been overachieving. He's put together several very good races since being claimed, and I think he has as good a shot as anybody to get up for second. And at 8 to 1, you get a good price. Swift Delivery is one for Mark Cassie that he enlists Joel Rosario. The tab looks really good. This one's debuting at 4. And again, the 8th race is pretty wide open. So at 10 to 1, I think he stands a good shot, should be coming late. And he looks poised and ready to start making a move forward. Play Me a Tune in the 11th, I consider to be a very good option if you don't want to bet Knightsbridge. But I think Knightsbridge is a really strong win candidate in that race. But Play Me a Tune, I really like the tab, and I think this horse is coming into the race in sneaky good form, and I think, again, another one who can get up for second at a pretty good price and can spice things up for you, and is going to get a better price than Inveigled, who will likely be the second choice in the race. But I think Knightsbridge is going to win it. But I like Play Me a Tune to get underneath. Buttercream Babe in the 12th race. I've always liked this horse. She is She's had very good form, and on the turf as well as the dirt. They've taught her how to settle a little bit. And the last time Mike Maker went and got Luis Saez for this one, they won. That's enough for me. And at 10-1, you get a nice price. I think it offers some really good value. And I could see Buttercream Baby even taking the race down under the right circumstances. So some good value there. Now, as I mentioned, you guys know I like to have a single when I do doubles and pick threes. White Barrio obviously is cost prohibitive at 1-9. You're not going to do well there. So what we've done is we've got a couple of different sets of doubles. The first one is if we get our long shot Sherlock's Jewel home, we certainly want to have a double. So in the ninth race, we'll just take all four of our top four in there, 1, 3, 4, and 6. With the 9, we get Sherlock's Jewel home at 20-1 or better, then we're looking pretty good for a nice score. Then we're going to use Knightsbridge as our single for our doubles and pick threes because I think he is the best of the short-priced horses, and there are a few of them in this field. Probably we might get the best price, so we'll go 3-4 because the 3 is my primary selection in the 10th race, and then we'll do 1, 2, 6, and 4 as kind of a saver. Same thing with races 11 and 12. We'll go 4-1 because the 1 is my primary win selection, and then we'll do 4 with 3, 4, 9 as a saver. And of course, the Florida Derby. I do think Sovereignty looks awful good, but we can hedge a little bit. What I'm doing is in the Appleton, I really like Seminole Chief at 8-1, and I think you're going to get a really good price because you do have Major Dude and others who will probably be bet ahead of him odds-wise. So I think we'll get a price. So we'll go 7-10 straight, and then we'll do 7 with the 4 and the 9 Tappan Street. I guess it's not Tappan Street, it's Tappan Street. The 9 as well as the Pletcher, the Michael Polly horse whose name escapes me right now. I'm sorry, but 7 on top with 4, 9. So we've got a good string of doubles there. Pick 3, we're going to build it around Knightsbridge. We'll do a straight one with our primary selections, 3, 4, and 1. Then we'll do 1, 2, 6 with 4 and 1. And then we'll do 3, 4 with 3, 4, 9. Then we'll do one more, just sort of a saver, generic one, 1, 2, 6 with 4 with 3, 4, and 9. So I think that gives us a lot of options for what I think will be a pretty good pick 3 because we've got some good value in the 10th and the 12th. So we get Knightsbridge home. I think we're looking pretty good. So there are a couple other pick 5s, and I picked the one with White Barrio in the 7th race because it's the chalkiest, and I think we can keep a really short, small ticket, and we can leverage it. So I've in blue highlighted are my primary win selections. White Barrio would certainly be the best bet in the 7th race, but so we would go 4. We're going to single in the 6th race with the 4. We're going to single White Barrio in the 7th. Then we'll go 3, 4, 6, 9 in the 8th because I think that is a pretty wide open race. And if we do get Sherlock's Jewel home, number 9, then I think it's really going to pay. Race 9, the Gulfstream Park Oaks. I really like Paradise City. I think we're certainly going to get a price, but should we get? He's got another one in the 6 horse, who we probably will get a decent price on. And I think it's one of those two. I don't want to mess around with Queen's MG or 5G where the prices are going to be a little short. So we'll just use our 2 price horses and we'll hope we get it home. And then if we do get to the 10th race, we'll go 1, 2, 3, and 6. So if provided our short horses all come home, we can keep it. We can keep the ticket price at just at the caveman level. It's a $32 ticket on a $1 base. But obviously, using Ticket Maker, we're going to be able to stagger leverage accordingly. But I think that's a good, a good solid pick 5 ticket. Now, Gulfstream, for those of you who aren't familiar, offers the Rainbow 6. It's a 20-cent ticket. I'm pretty sure there's a mandatory payout on Saturday. There usually is on Florida Derby Day. And it does comprise races 9 through 14. So we've got two singles. We're going to single Knightsbridge in the 11th, and we're going to single Sovereignty in the Florida Derby. So that allows us to spread in the other races. So we'll start with the Gulfstream Park Oaks. If you want to cut that down to 1 and 6, I can certainly see it. The reason we're going to spread in those other races is because we can. This is a 20-cent ticket. So obviously, it's you know you got to have a fairly unique ticket in order to take it down. But we've got some horses in there like Seminole Chief and that that maybe can fly under the radar a little bit and give us a shot here. And plus, I believe we've got in the 12th. I'm moving on up, or the 10th to the 12th is at 10-1. If we get him home, we're looking pretty good there. So anyway, we'll go in the 9th. The Oaks, you can go 1-6 or 1-3-4-6. Race 10, 1, 2, 3, and 6. Then we'll single Knightsbridge number 4 in the 11th. In the 12th, we'll go 1, 3, 4, and 9. With the 1, I believe, is my primary selection. Don't hold me to that. I'm sorry, I forgot to highlight it. And then in the Appleton, we're going to go 2, 6, 7, and 9 with Seminole Chief at 8-1 on the morning line. And we'll finally single Sovereignty in the Florida Derby. So that's $51.20, and that's a 20-cent ticket. So lots of options to take down, which usually is, when they have a mandatory payout day, especially on these big stakes days, it can get up over $1 million. So even if you win it with a bunch of other people, you still can take home a pretty good ROI for a nominal investment. So worth taking a shot for sure. So those are our selections and our plays for Saturday, and I hope they'll help you with your own wagering strategy. Certainly, if you do like content like this, please like and subscribe. And again, thanks so much to all of you who continue to grow our community. Really appreciate it. You guys keep up with the comments. I'm loving it. Thank you very much. Please continue. There have been some colorful ones. There have been some ones with some really good insight too, and that's what I like, and we can all benefit from that. So thank you, and please keep them coming as we move forward. Got a really big weekend next week. We've got 3 Derby preps. We've got the Bluegrass, the Santa Anita Derby, as well as the Wood Memorial. They're all 100-point races. We will certainly have full coverage of those, as well as the Oaks preps. We will do, not sure which full card we'll do. It'll likely be Keeneland, and we'll have a sequence for that. We'll also have replay analysis for the Derby preps that are run this weekend, and of course our top 20 list, which should be pretty well defined, I think, after this weekend and until we have our really firm posting after next weekend. So it's really it's all coming together on the Derby trail, and there's definitely these 2 races are going to answer a lot of questions, I think, about quite a few of the contenders. So I'm looking forward to them. I'm sure you are as well. If I have time tomorrow, I will try to put maybe some individual stakes postings for Oaklawn. I'm not sure I'll have time to get a sequence, but I'll try to get something together for you. So be on the lookout for that. No promises, but it's possible, and I want to give us as many opportunities as we can. So I'll try to do that if I can find the time. So that's it from here. Again, thanks so much to all of you for tuning in. I'll talk to you soon, and until then, be well.